you wake up, and it starts. The boss who never appreciates you. The money that's never enough. The family argument that never ends. The health scare that keeps you up at 3 in the morning. The rejection you didn't see coming. And here's the thing nobody tells you. It's never going to stop. Problems will always come. That is just life. But what if I told you the problem was never the problem? A monk from India wrote a small book, just 87 pages, and inside it is the answer to the one question every human being asks in their darkest moment. Why does this keep happening to me? And how do I survive it? Today we're going through every single chapter of the book, Problems and How to Face Them, by Swami Aksharatmananda of Sri Ramakrishna Math. This is not dry philosophy. This is not religion. This is a practical survival guide for being human, packed with real stories, real wisdom, and tools you can use today. Mind. Chapter 1. The Difference Between Man and Man. The book opens with a simple question. Ask anyone around you, do you want to be happy? Everyone says yes, immediately, no hesitation. Now ask the same person, are you happy? Watch their face fall. There is a vast gap between what we want and what we are. And that gap, right there, is where all our suffering lives. Here's the book's opening insight. Two people can face the exact same situation, same job loss, same betrayal, same illness, and one person gets destroyed while the other rises higher. Same circumstances, completely different outcomes. What makes the difference? That is what this entire book is about. And every chapter from here brings us closer to the answer. Chapter 2 and 3. What is happiness? And happiness is a habit. Here is a story from the book that will stop you mid-thought. A businessman walks along a beach. He sees a fisherman lying down, completely relaxed, humming a song. The man had gone fishing that morning, had a good catch, sold it, and was now simply enjoying his afternoon. The businessman is baffled. He says, "Why don't you go catch more fish?" The fisherman says, "Why should I? You'll make more money." "What would I do with that?" "Buy a bigger boat, expand your business, get a big house, a TV, a car, and then you can live happily." The fisherman looked at him completely calm and said, "Is it so? Then, what am I doing right now? Am I not happy now?" Here is the truth the book is building toward. Happiness does not totally depend on external things. Progress is necessary. Ambition is fine. But at what point do we stop and ask, am I chasing happiness or am I running from it? And then the book drops an even bigger idea. Happiness is a habit. In a TV interview, happy people were asked their secret. One old man replied, "When I get up in the morning, I have two choices, either to be happy or to be unhappy. I just choose to be happy. That is all." Another man said, "I made it a habit to be happy." Now, you might say that is easier said than done. The book answers, everything is possible by practice. Psychologists confirm this. If you physically force yourself to smile, you actually begin to feel like smiling. Your mind follows your body, and your body follows your mind. Here is a direct tip from the book, from Dr. David Schwartz. Every single time someone asks, "How are you?" respond, "Just wonderful." Say it at every opportunity. You will begin to feel wonderful. Try it for 1 week. The results will surprise you. Chapter 4. The Role of Attitude. Here is a story that will make you examine yourself very carefully. A weary traveler arrives at a village and asks a wise man, "What kind of people live in this town?" The wise man asks, "What kind of people were in the town you came from?" "Knaves and fools," the traveler snaps angrily. "You will find the people here very much the same," the wise man says. A second traveler arrives with the same question. The wise man asks the same counter question. "Good, true, and wise people," the second traveler says warmly. "You will find the people here the same," the wise man smiles. Do you think the wise man was crazy, giving different answers about the same village? No. He understood human psychology perfectly. The first traveler cannot see good in others. Whatever he sees is evil. So wherever he goes, that is what he finds. The second traveler finds good in people. So wherever he goes, he finds good people. The world is a mirror. What we project is reflected back to us. If we smile at it, it smiles back. If we frown at it, it frowns back. And here's the line that stopped me cold. The real thing that blocks a man's progress is not circumstances, not other people, not bad luck. It is the want of right attitude of mind. That one line alone is worth the price of this entire book. Chapters 5 and 6, Circumstances and Obstacle or Opportunity. We love to blame our circumstances. My teacher didn't teach me well. My college wasn't good enough. My family didn't support me. The economy is terrible. And the book challenges this with one powerful question. How is it that others in the exact same circumstances are doing well? There must be something different in the individuals themselves. Then comes chapter 6, and this is one of the best chapters in the book. There is a football match. In the crowd is a simpleton from a village who has never seen football. After watching the players fight over one ball, he turns to his friend and says, "Why are all these people fighting for one ball? Let them come to me. I will give each person their own ball." If he did that, there would be no game. For one person, the ball is an obstacle. For the other, the ball is the opportunity. For a wise man, every obstacle is an opportunity. For a fool, every opportunity is an obstacle. And then, this image, burn it into your memory. A kite rises against the wind, not with it. If you face opposition when you start something, that is not a sign to stop. That is the wind you need to rise. The ancient Sanskrit poet wrote, "The lowest category of people never undertake any task for fear of obstacles. Mediocres start and give up when they encounter problems. The best men will not give up the endeavor even when overpowered by problems again and again." Napoleon said, "Victory belongs to the most persevering." Which category are you choosing to be in? Chapters 7 and 8, Problems, and Be Grateful to Your Problems. Chapter 7 redefines what a problem actually is. The book says, a problem is a circumstance where you have to exercise your thinking power and find a solution to a tricky situation. Notice what it does not say. It does not say a problem is a catastrophe, a punishment, a sign that the universe hates you. It is an exercise, like lifting weights, difficult in the moment, but making you stronger every single time. And chapter 8 says something that will sound radical the first time you hear it. Be grateful to your problems. Successful people actually say this. One man said, "I am grateful to my problems. Whenever I solve a problem, I become stronger than before. I grew on my problems. I thrive on them." Now, the story that will stay with you longest from this entire book. Please do not skip this part. One day a man noticed a small opening appearing in a cocoon. He watched for hours as the butterfly struggled and struggled to force its body through that tiny hole. Then it seemed to stop making progress. It looked stuck. The man felt sorry. In kindness, he took a pair of scissors and gently snipped the cocoon open. The butterfly emerged easily, but it had a withered body, shriveled, useless wings. The man waited for the wings to expand and lift the butterfly into the air. They never did. The butterfly spent the rest of its life crawling on the ground. It could never fly. What the man in his kindness did not understand, nature created that tough cocoon on purpose. The struggle of forcing through the tiny hole was nature's way of pushing vital fluid from the butterfly's body into its wings, preparing it for flight. When he removed the struggle out of compassion, he destroyed the butterfly's future. Sometimes the struggle is the preparation. If God allowed us to go through life without any obstacles, it would cripple us. We would not be as strong as we could have been. Chapters 9, 10, and 11. What is our choice? Your attitude. And if thinking versus how thinking. Chapter 9 gives us the most empowering idea in the book so far. You cannot always choose your problem, but you can always choose your response to it. When you control your reaction, you control the effect of the problem on you. Your reaction is the last word. If you react positively, you turn your scars into stars. Now, chapter 11, this one is gold, and I want you to decide right now which of these two people you are. The if thinker constantly broods. Only if I had done things differently. Only if my family had supported me. Only if I had been born in better circumstances. He wastes enormous time and energy analyzing a past he cannot change. The how thinker wastes zero energy on the post-mortem of past mistakes. His immediate instinct is, how do I solve this? There must be a solution. William James, one of the greatest psychologists in history, said, "The greatest discovery of our times is to know that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind." Stop if thinking. Start how thinking. Chapter 12. Your approach to problems. There is a proverb in this chapter that is unforgettable. Hammer shatters glass, but forges steel. What trouble does to you depends entirely on what you are made of inside. The same hammer, different results. And now, Swami Vivekananda tells us from his own life exactly what to do. He was walking in Varanasi, near a tank of water. Suddenly a group of massive surly monkeys blocked his path. They howled, shrieked, and clutched at his feet. He began to run. The faster he ran, the faster the monkeys came. They started biting him. Just then, an old monk on the path shouted at him, "Face the brutes." Vivekananda stopped dead, turned around, and stared directly at the monkeys. They stopped, they fell back, and then they fled. He said, "That is a lesson for all life. Face the terrible, face it boldly. Like the monkeys, the hardships of life fall back when we cease to flee before them. Whatever you are running from right now, this is that moment. Turn around." Chapters 13 and 14. Enthusiasm and advantages of cheerfulness. Do you know what the word enthusiasm actually means at its root? It comes from the Greek en theos, meaning God within. Enthusiasm is not just a mood, it is the expression of the divine potential that lives inside every human being. The Bhagavad Gita says, "A good worker is one endowed with firmness and enthusiasm." It is a prerequisite, not a bonus. And have you ever watched children at play? They are completely absorbed, no self-consciousness, no worry, no fatigue. Pure enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is infectious. It spreads from person to person. And then Swami Vivekananda says something that completely flips the common idea of religion. The first sign that you are becoming religious is that you are becoming cheerful. When a man is gloomy, that may be indigestion, but it is not religion. Chapter 15. Don't suffer, struggle. This chapter is a single perspective shift that changes everything. The book says, change one word in how you speak about difficulty. Stop saying, "I am suffering." Start saying, "I am struggling." When you suffer, you are a passive victim. When you struggle, you are an active warrior. The difference is everything. Thomas Edison tested 1,000 filaments before making a working light bulb. Was that 1,000 failures or 1,000 steps toward success? Swami Vivekananda studied the lives of great men and found this pattern. It was misery that taught more than happiness. It was poverty that taught more than wealth. It was blows that brought out their inner fire more than praise. So, next time something hard hits you, don't say, "I am suffering." Say, "I am struggling, and I am becoming." Chapters 16 and 17. criticism, and how to cope with criticism. Nothing derails us quite like criticism. Someone says one thing about us, and it can ruin an entire week, sometimes an entire life direction. But the book teaches us to look at criticism with completely new eyes. Swami Vivekananda says, you feel that this person has hurt you. Why? Because you are sensitive. Just imagine permitting your happiness and peace of mind to depend on another man's words. Those words are just weakness of another, ignorance of another, and a man of ignorance is an object of pity, not anger. Now 6 practical steps from the book to handle criticism. Step 1. Pause. Breathe. When criticized, stop. Take a deep breath before you speak. Deep breathing gives you time and clarity. Step 2. Is it even directed at you? Many times it is not. We project ourselves onto general remarks and expose our own sensitivity. Step 3. Evaluate your critic's competence. If your boss criticizes your work, listen carefully. If your neighbor who knows nothing about your field criticizes you, smile and move on. Step 4. Do not counterattack. It fosters nothing but ill feelings. Here is a wonderful story. A husband and wife fought bitterly at every mealtime. The wife sought help from an elderly neighbor. The neighbor gave her a tiny bottle and said, "This is special medicine. Keep it in your mouth for 20 minutes before meals. Don't swallow it, just hold it." The wife tried it. When her husband started his arguments, she couldn't respond, so the argument could not continue. Within days, peace returned. The neighbor later revealed it was plain water. The medicine was silence. Step 5. Consider your critic's motives. People who criticize others often do so to raise themselves by pulling others down. This requires our sympathy, not our anger. Step 6. Your critics might be right. If you hear the same criticism repeatedly, listen. It might be true. Accept it and improve. Abraham Lincoln received sharp criticism from his own war secretary, Stanton, who called him a fool publicly. Lincoln didn't flare up. He said, "If Stanton says I'm a fool, then it may be true. Let me talk to him." He went, investigated, discovered his own mistake, and took back the wrong orders. According to Buddha, if you don't accept a gift, it remains with the giver. If you refuse to receive criticism, it stays with the person who gave it. It cannot touch you. Chapters 18 and 19, Depression, Bounce Up, and Despair. The book has a Sanskrit verse about resilience. A rubber ball rises when it is hit against the ground. In the same way, for good people, setbacks and dangers are not permanent. Now compare a clay ball dropped on the same ground. It splatters. It never rises. Successful people are rubber balls. Life hits them hard. They bounce back. Swami Vivekananda said, "True greatness consists not in rising, but in rising every time we fall." About depression from failure. Much of our self-doubt comes from childhood, when we genuinely were smaller and weaker than everyone around us. But we carry that old image into adulthood, where it no longer applies. Bernard Shaw said, "A life spent in making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing." You are always a person who has choices. That is what failure, properly understood, teaches you. Chapters 20 and 21, Don't Worry, Be Merry, and Sense of Humor. In Sanskrit, the word for worry is chinta. The word for funeral pyre is chitta. The difference between them? One tiny dot. And there is a verse. Funeral pyre kills a man when he is without life, but worry kills a man even while he is alive. Worry is brooding over the past without doing anything productive about the future. Here is the book's wonderfully simple solution. Try to remember what you were worrying about a few days ago. Most of us cannot remember. That situation that felt catastrophic, it is already gone, already resolved, one way or another. And you have moved on to the next worry. So what exactly was the point of all that suffering? Yad bhavam tad bhavati. What you think, you become. If you think about success, you will succeed. If you think about failure, you will fail. If you fill your mind with worry all day, you will become a person full of worries. Change what you think. The worry no longer exists, and Chapter 21 identifies a quality shared by all people who overcome worry and depression: a genuine sense of humor. Someone once tried to mock Abraham Lincoln about his unusual height, asking, "What should be the correct length of a man's leg?" Without a pause, Lincoln answered, "From waist to floor." The questioner was silenced. Don't take your life too seriously. It is temporary. Chapters 22 and 23, Willpower and How to Develop It. Everything we have discussed so far, enthusiasm, cheerfulness, facing problems, handling criticism, requires one foundation. Without it, everything else crumbles. Willpower. Swami Vivekananda teaches, will is the combination of mind and the Atman, the soul itself. Your daily actions build your character builds your will builds your entire life. Now, imagine a mighty river. It flows with tremendous power, sometimes flooding and destroying everything around it. But if you channel that river through a dam, that same power generates electricity that lights up entire cities. Your mind is the river. Self-discipline is the dam. Undisciplined energy destroys. Disciplined energy creates. And the book gives you 3 practical exercises to build your willpower. These sound almost too small. That is exactly what makes them powerful. Exercise 1. Once a week, skip one meal, voluntarily, not because you forgot, but as a conscious, deliberate act of self-control. Exercise 2. Once a week, practice silence for half a day. Read, meditate, no unnecessary talking. Exercise 3. Once a week, skip your tea or coffee if you have the habit. These sound tiny, but over weeks and months, you are training your mind to obey you instead of you endlessly obeying it. There is a story of a little boy struggling to lift a heavy stone. His father watches and then asks, "Are you using all your strength?" "Yes," the boy says impatiently. "No," the father smiles. "You haven't asked me to help you yet." Sometimes we are too proud or too lost in our own struggle to ask for help. But all the strength and support we need is available. We just need to ask. Chapter 24. Conclusion. Now we arrive at the final image of this book, the one I promised you at the very beginning. The book ends with Swami Vivekananda's words, "The road to the good is the roughest and steepest in the universe. It is a wonder that so many succeed. No wonder that so many fall. Character has to be established through 1,000 stumbles." And then the book offers its final unforgettable image. A weak person is like someone who mounts a powerful horse and then lets it run wherever it wants. The horse drags him through fields, through mud, into danger. The horse controls him completely. A strong person mounts the same horse and governs it with a masterly hand. He commands the direction. He commands the speed. The horse becomes his greatest ally. The horse is your mind. The question is, are you riding your mind, or is your mind running you? The book's final words are simple and powerful. Take charge of yourselves. You can become the driver of yourself. Now, a final rapid-fire recap of everything this 87-page book just taught us. The fisherman already had happiness, and the businessman couldn't see it. Don't spend your whole life chasing what you already have. The butterfly needed the struggle to grow its wings. Don't rob yourself of growth by looking for shortcuts. The monkeys in Varanasi fled the moment Vivekananda stopped running. Turn and face your problems boldly. The wife's magic medicine was silence. Not every battle needs your words or your reaction. Worry is a funeral pyre for the living. Stop burning yourself alive over things you won't even remember next week. The rubber ball bounces. The clay ball splatters. You choose what you are made of. And the little boy trying to lift the stone You don't have to carry everything alone. Ask. This book was written for ordinary people, living ordinary lives, full of problems, setbacks, criticism, worry, depression, and doubt. And its message is beautifully simple. You are not a victim of your problems. You are being built by them. Stop running, start facing. Stop suffering, start struggling. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, where can this take me? And above all, take charge. You can become the driver of yourself. This was the complete summary of problems and how to face them, by Swami Aksharatmananda, published by Sri Ramakrishna Seva Samiti, Bapatla. Here is your one action before you close this video. Think of the one problem you have been running from this week. Just one. Write it down right now, on paper, in your notes app, anywhere. Then write 3 words next to it. How do I solve this? Not why is this happening? Not if only, just how. That shift from if to how is where your transformation begins. If this summary gave you something today, hit subscribe. We go deep into books like this one, wisdom that actually changes how you live. Someone you know is going through something hard right now. Share this with them, because sometimes the right words at the right moment change everything.